Hey guys, my name is Jonathan Casillas, and I wanted to redo this video on service dog etiquette for people without service dogs after getting some really good feedback from some friends of mine. So, let's start off with a little bit about me. My name again, like I said, is Jonathan Casillas. I am an Iraqi vet, U.S. Army. 08, 09 was the year I was in Iraq, 10 months, but we're not getting into that in this video. Um, since late 09, I've had a service animal pretty much the whole time from then till now. I've had a American Pit Bull Terrier named Bully. I've had a Greyhound named Hermes, and I've had a German Shepherd dog named Thor. Great service dogs, all in their own right, but we're not getting into that. We're talking etiquette today. So, first off, there is no block or there is no breed that can't be a service animal, legally speaking. We can have a conversation on whether a breed should or shouldn't be a service animal, but that's not for this video. But legally speaking, there is no block or no ban on a certain breed being a service dog. When you're looking for a service animal, you are looking at that individual dog and whether they fit the criteria. Again, not part of this video. So there's one. If you see an animal, a service animal, and it's a quote-unquote not typical service animal breed, doesn't mean it's not a service dog. So that's number one. I'm looking down because I have some notes I wrote out so that I can stay on track. Service animals can be used for multiple types of disabilities. Service animals are used for things such as the blind, which is something most people know. Guide dogs are a type of service animal. They can be used for heart conditions. They can be used for depression. They can be used for anxiety. They can be used for PTSD. They can be used for seizure alert. They could be used for diabetic alert. They could be used for autism. They could be used for a myriad of things. I say this, one, to inform, and two, to point out just because you don't see the disability doesn't mean it's not there. Just because someone looks quote unquote normal doesn't mean they don't have a disability and or a need for a service animal. So I'm going to say this as nicely as possible. Please stop asking us why we have a service animal, and please stop saying things like, oh, well, you look normal or you look high functioning to me. I'm going to keep the edge off this video, so I'm just going to ask that just not to have that conversation, especially with a stranger. So we're going to jump off of that because that's a hot button for me, but this is an information video, so let's keep going. A major one for us also, at least for me, is please ignore the service animal. Please ignore the service animal. Their service animal is there to do a job. That job requires that animal to focus on the handler and or partner, which is the handler, but there's different words. A service animal, like every other species of animal for the most part, focuses on one thing at a time. And without permission, you should never distract a service animal. Me, for the most part, I'm not going to give it. A lot of service animal handlers I know aren't going to give it. So please stop asking. And please stop just distracting the animal. A real quick example of how that can turn badly Um, let's say I don't, but let's say my service animal was for seizures, and an individual came and started making smoochy noises to the dog because he's so cute, or started petting the dog, or did a what we call a pass by pet, where you pet and just keep walking, or called the dog over, or did any of the myriad of just not cool things to distract that animal. And that dog, in this example, my dog missed the cues for me having a seizure, and I fall down and hurt myself because I have a grand mal seizure. There's going to be a couple things that's going to happen. One, I'm going to get hurt because, well, falling down hurts. Two, you're probably going to get sued because that dog was distracted without permission, and it shouldn't have happened. And I got hurt, and that's just going to happen. You're going to get sued. Three, you'll give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Apologize for that. Thor was, well, being Thor. Anytime I'm not paying complete attention to him, he'll do something to get my attention. Okay, so 3, in many states, it is a misdemeanor, and you can be arrested. So, for everybody's sake, including your own, do not distract a service animal. They are there to do a job. They cannot do the job well if they're paying attention to you and not their handler slash partner. Okay. Okay. Service animals do not need to be marked. They don't need a vest. They don't need patches. I can tell you from my 3 dogs that I've had, my last 2 dogs had vests. The vest Thor wears now doesn't have any patches on it. I probably will put some on, but that's a personal preference of mine. Hermes did have a vest. Excuse me. Bully did not have a vest. He had a Kong harness, a really thin green Kong harness. If you look at pictures in my Facebook of Bully and you notice that when we're out and about he has a green Kong harness on, that was his way of knowing he went to work. He's going to work. It's work time. It was my way of letting my dogs know it's time to go to work. Just because they don't have a vest on, just because they don't have a patch, just because you don't see something different, doesn't mean they're not a service animal. There's no legal requirement under the ADA in the United States to have any type of label at all, period. I can tell you, just for a little background, I know of service dog animal teams whose collar changes. The collar changes from cloth to leather. It changes from thin to thick, from thick to thin. Like I said, Bully had a regular harness on. You would never know he was a service animal, except he knew he was time to go to work. He knew it was game time. So just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Few, very few at least in my experience, dogs don't even have a change. They don't, nothing changes. It's just a command and they get to work. So there's things you don't know, or you don't see, or you don't see that you're seeing, that tell the dog work time, that let the dog know it's time to focus on the job. Kind of in the same vein, service animals, for the most part, when at home, have free time. When they're in their free time, are free to be dogs. I can tell you that Thor, his favorite person in my house is Desiree, my 14-year-old. I can tell you that Bully, my first service animal, his favorite person was Amaya. They would rather be with Amaya and Desiree respectively than hang around with me all day. I mean, they'd come in, they'd check on me every 15-20 minutes unless I'm having an off day. they'd come in, they'd check, hey, are you okay? Everything good? Give you that kind of weird, angled head look that dogs give you. Um, Go off and do their thing. They have off time. They're kind of like a police officer, like that. And by that I mean they're always a service animal. A police officer is always a police officer. Um, but they have off time. When in uniform, it's go time. It's work. When off of uniform, when out of uniform, they relax. They have fun. They play. They jump. They're little pains in the rear like every other animal. I love my dogs, but dogs will be dogs. Um, so they relax. They have fun. I know some dogs, some service dog teams, or I know of some service dog teams that do things like rally, which is a sport, or dock diving, or scent work, or you know, uh, all kinds of stuff, agility. They're dogs. When they're not working, they get to play, they get to have fun, they get to enjoy themselves. They're not working 24/7. Just because you don't see it when we're out and about with them, just because they look sad or they look focused, um, doesn't mean they don't have off time. That's a really big issue because you have people that feel bad for them, and then they want to interrupt the dog or give them some love or whatever, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous for the handler. It's bad for the training of the animal, and they have their off time. I can harp on that, but I'm gonna try to just leave it be. Um, I'm looking down at my notes. I apologize for not the eye contact, but basically, service animals can be almost any breed legally. Again, you can argue whether they should or shouldn't be. That's a whole other issue. Service animals are used for multiple disabilities, all kinds of disabilities, both the ones you can see and the ones you can't see. So please don't assume that you can see all disabilities, and or because you don't see it, it doesn't exist. Please ignore the service animal. That's like the biggest one. Please ignore the service dog for the betterment of the training of that dog, for the health and well-being of the handler. Please ignore the dog. Um, Service dogs do not need to be marked. They do not need to show that they are a service animal. If you're an employer or an employee at work, you can ask, is that a service animal? And what tasks does that service animal provide to mitigate a disability? Those are the two questions according to the ADA. That's it. With me, it's yes, he's a service animal, medical alert. That's all you're getting. That's it. That's all you are required to get, and that's it. I'm going to leave that one be. I have a side note here. Please don't have your kids run up to any dog. It's not smart. It's not safe. Whether it's a service dog or not, you don't know the animal. You don't know how they're going to react. You don't know if it's having a bad day. It's just not a good idea in general. With a service dog, Bully being one, Thor being another, they love kids. They love kids. And even a very well trained dog will lose it sometimes, and by lose it I mean lose his focus, and go want to play with the kid. And if he's doing that, then he's not focusing on us, and again, that could be a problem. Dogs have off time. That's pretty much it. I mean, I'm at this point I'm beating a dead horse, so I'm gonna let it be. I hope that this calmer demeanor help you get more information. Feel free to comment below with any questions, complaints, gripes, bitches, whatever. If you are a service dog handling team and you think I missed something or misspoke, please feel free to comment and we can have that conversation. I'm always here to learn, just like I'm trying to teach. I'm always here to learn. If you're just a general public and you have a question, feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to answer it correctly and with as much information as I can. And that's pretty much it. Again, Jonathan Casillas, really small, shameless plug. Uh, John B. Casillas Capital Partners. It's my company. You can look us up if you want to. If not, that's cool because it's a service dog video. Just figure that anyway. Um, Hope you have a good day and hope this was helpful. Out here.